Toronto Mayor Olivia Chow is trying to play hardball with the Trudeau Liberals and saying that she is going to bring in a potentially 16.5% property tax increase if the feds don't come to the table for some funding. Hello, I'm Adrienne Batra. With me are Warren Kinsella and Brian Lilley. I think that this is one of those political games that Olivia Chow is trying to play with Justin Trudeau, Brian, trying to get the federal government to come to the table for funding on the refugees that Toronto has been housing. It's about $250 million. She's threatening this giant tax increase to Torontonians. Does this work?
I'm not sure it does. On the one hand, I got to hand it to her. She's playing hardball politics. She's saying, look, we are, dealing with these costs. If the federal government doesn't give us the $250 million they owe us, we're going to have to increase property taxes by another 6%, and we'll call it the federal levy. So that puts pressure on them. I don't see any signs that Chrystia Freeland or Justin Trudeau are going to act on this. The most we've seen is some angry Liberal MPs doing the media rounds. But take away that 6%, people still need to be angry at Olivia Chow, because you take away the 6%, it's still a 10.5% property tax increase. Spending going up by more than $900 million. This is well above the rate of inflation. This is out of control spending, and it's unacceptable. That's what people have to tell her. Might be good politics with the feds, but it's bad politics for her, and an awful lot of councillors are going to feel they have to vote for this.
All right, Warren, I'll do your full disclosure for you. There was a time many moons ago in previous incarnations of your political life where you did help out Olivia Chow when she was running for mayor. But now fast forward to here we are. She is mayor, 2024, massive tax increase. I've always said this, the people that support Olivia Chow, those Torontonians that do support her, and she didn't win an overwhelming majority, or she didn't win an overwhelming mandate, to be clear, in the by-election, but they are the very people that such a tax increase will hurt so significantly. Others will find a way, but these are her supporters that I think will get hit the hardest. So how does such a massive increase and threatening such a massive increase in taxes go over without people absolutely just screaming and yelling about it?
Well, the thing that people, and I did help her out and help run her campaign 10 years ago, and that is true. And, I find her generally to be a decent person, but I do find what she said about the federal Liberals to be a bit of a suicide note, because at the end of the day, when people get their bills showing somewhere between a 10 and 16% tax increase, they're not going to see the little, federal levy or whatever she's planning on calling it.
Yeah.
They're just going to get mad at Olivia Chow, and she's going to be a one-term mayor. Like, she's going to be done. So, she is going for the gusto here. The federal Liberals have sent up members of caucus, not as much cabinet ministers, to actually call her a liar. And so the relationship between those two levels of government could not be worse. And I'm sure Doug Ford's sitting back and eating popcorn and watching it happen, because he's helped her out with the uploading the Return of the Gardener and so on. So, where is it going to go? I don't know. Who blinks first? My suspicion is Trudeau's going to blink first, because if he's having an election this year, he needs those Toronto seats. And this is a good way to lose them if he, saddles people with a big tax increase.
Well, there's an old a Ford that I used to work for, Brian, that used to just say it over and over again. There is only one taxpayer at the end of the day, and this is the circumstance in which we find ourselves in. There is a chorus, a somewhat love aloud chorus that said Toronto's not paid enough. We've kept property taxes too low, so this is really just aligning us into where we should be. But with the overwhelming cost of inflation, the overwhelming cost of living, and the goods and services Canadians need on a daily basis to even consider putting a protein on their plate. This is such a hit. With winter getting colder, heating bills increasing. This is not the time for Olivia Chow and her crew down at City Hall to be hammering us with such a significant tax increase. They should be looking in their own backyard to shave off some of those dollars that they're spending.
They should be looking for savings before they go asking for more money, and that would have been put them in a better standing. They didn't do that, and it's absolutely ridiculous for them to hit us with this. And as you say, this is going to hit people who can least afford it. And for anyone that says, well, I'm a renter, it doesn't matter, the law actually states that if you're a landlord and you get hit with a big tax increase, guess what? You are allowed to pass it on. It is a flow through item for you. And you're able to say, all right, well, rent is going up by the equivalent of my tax increase. Rent won't go up by 10%, but that 10% tax increase can be passed on to the tenant because it is so outside of the norm. This is going to hit all kinds of people. And the politics of it, as you say, one taxpayer, yeah, but they're going to have a bun fight anyway.
Yeah. Well, and to add insult to injury, Olivia Chow is getting a salary increase. Well, let us know what you think in the comments below. Is it time for the feds to step up and pay their fair share in Toronto? Let us know what you think and go to theTorontoSun.com. Hit that subscribe button. You're going to find coverage and commentary there that you won't find anywhere else.